very controllable, normal level to where I could really start functioning back in work and stuff like that again. So those were the first two things that like really helped me. I tried them again later in life and didn't have any effect for them. So I think my brain kind of got adjusted to them back then and they stopped working. But it was good enough to where it helped me get back into life again. So I'm very happy about that, that it helped. It was one of the first things to help me feel better. I wrote a list of stuff here I basically wanted to go over. I finally went to a doctor, and they had prescribed me Zoloft because they thought that I was just having depression and that's what was causing my anxiety. They really hadn't asked any questions about hypomanic or manic symptoms, and I didn't even know what hypomania or mania even was back then. So, you know, when I was euphoric and felt high and elated or irritable or any of the negative manic symptoms, I just thought that was normal life. So I never discussed that with the doctors. They never asked the right questions. They just assumed I was depressed. So my first medication that I ever really tried was Zoloft. And it basically had a really bad effect on me. The first day I took it, I noticed that I felt kind of good. But then as the night progressed, I noticed I started having some extreme anxiety and was just having this like mixed mania type feeling, just depressed, euphoric, very talkative, not rapid speech, but just like very intellectual. Just like weird things were happening as I was taking this medication, and it just felt so just uncomfortable and not right. So it was really starting to freak me out. I couldn't sleep. I felt really weird. I called the doctor and told them what I was going through, and they told me to just go ahead and quit it right then. I'd been taking it about a week at that point, and I just felt awful on it. Very manic and anxious, really bad, and even depression too. So it was a really just bad mixture of brain chemistry going on when I was taking that. So that was my first experience with medication. And I know now with today's research, doctors that are specialized in bipolarism, they don't always actually prescribe. If they have any indication that you have bipolar 1 or 2, they won't even prescribe you an antidepressant. They usually prescribe a mood stabilizer first, like lithium or Lamictal. And once your mood is stabilized, then they might introduce a antidepressant. Because if you bring just an antidepressant alone in without any mood stabilizer, you can really go off the end and have a full-blown manic attack. And that's why a lot of doctors these days are doing mood stabilizers first. And this is not to discourage anybody out there who has started with a antidepressant. And many of you have had just really good success with just an antidepressant alone, but many have not. And so don't take this to discourage you. Of course, talk to a doctor before you do anything changing your medications or diet or anything I suggest. Talk to your doctor first. Anything can change your brain chemistry, the simplest thing. And you definitely want to talk to your doctor and not let anything that I say discourage you, because some people have had amazing results. I'm sure there's plenty of bipolar people out there that have taken Zoloft by itself and have done really well with it. I, on the other hand, haven't, and a lot of people who have started with an antidepressant also have done really horrible. So this is just some experience, personal experience, and research that I've read, just to kind of maybe help those that have had some bad luck with antidepressants, to consider that maybe that's not what they needed to start with. I never really suffered most of the manic symptoms that most people suffer at the high level. Once again, when you have bipolar 2, you have what's considered a hypomania, which is a milder form of mania. And so, that for me was like light euphoria. I did have spending sprees and stuff like that, but it wasn't like in the $1,000 range. It wasn't like really crazy. It was like, $100 here, $100 there, buying things I shouldn't have bought. And, there's a couple times I've gotten in trouble financially, just overspending. I bought a couple of new cars which I at the time justified in my mind would be totally okay. And for some people, maybe it would be. But I have gotten myself in a little bit of financial trouble. Not like major, but enough to where you could definitely put that in the hypomanic category. I never really had the rapid speech problem where I would talk for hours and really fast. My sleep's always been, even though I've had problems with insomnia and staying up late and sleep disturbances, I never really had the problem of only sleeping 4 hours at a time like a lot of people with bipolar do. But and that in itself made me think, well, do I really have this condition? And as I grew older and suffered more with deeper depressions and more manic symptoms, I realized, this is definitely what I have. So I didn't really make the connection, like I was saying earlier, till later on when the problem and disorder worsened inside me. For anxiety, I want to say, cognitive programs, whether you're going through a therapist, psychiatrist, counselor, stuff like that really helps with the anxiety. So those of you that suffer with it, there's definitely hope. And there's definitely things you can take. There's some great medications out there. And actually, I'll get into that on another video. But that's a basic version of my story. I just kind of wanted to talk about it and tell people what I was going through. And I'm going to make some more videos. I'd like to talk about, depression in itself, some of the things that I've tried that have really helped and worked for me, different medications, natural stuff, just anything I can think of that has really made an improvement in my life. And I guess that's about it for now. If you have any questions, please email me. I will do my best to get back to you and share your story, go to a doctor, get some help, because this is a disorder that is just unlivable for some people, as it has been for me many times. So feel free to contact me anytime. And thanks again for listening and watching my video.